YouTube. How's everybody today? Yeah, all the news all over YouTube about the new RTX cards, 2080, 2080 Ti, and now we got a whole bunch of motherboards, Z390s. But let's focus on what we can actually afford. Is anybody looking for an SSD? And what would you think about 2 terabytes of SSD? You can look on Amazon, and the Crucial MX300 is $659. That's eye-watering. But if you look at Canada Computers, they got Micron. Yes, Micron. Micron, yes, they're one of the companies embroiled with Samsung and Hynix on the memory fixing scandal. But you can buy their 2 terabyte SSD from Canada Computers for $359.99. Yes, $300 less than the MX300 from Amazon. It is actually the cheapest 2 terabyte SSD you can buy. Why is it so cheap? Well, it's considered OEM. What does that mean in the world of computer parts? It means it comes in a white box with nothing more than a SKU on it. You get the bare drive, no stickers or cables or whatever. But for $359.99, do you really care about cables and stickers? And by the way, the performance is right up there. Sequential reads of 523, writes of 505. If you have the resources, they work excellent in RAID 0 because they are essentially data center drives or enterprise drives that are being sold to the consumer. And when you do put them in a RAID 0, you will see a throughput of over 1 gigabytes per second of sequential reads and writes. Okay, I did reference the RTX cards, the new ones, but who has $1,300 to spend on a video card? If you're living in the real world, there's a promotion going on right now with AMD that any of their graphic cards that you buy from the 570, I believe, all the way up to the Vega 64, you get 3 games free with it. It's not unlike, we've seen these before from NVIDIA and AMD. It's been a couple years since actually I've seen it from AMD though. But the games that you get with this are not bad. So, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm sure everybody's seen that all over YouTube by now. Strange Brigade, excuse me, my daughter, we're doing a video. And the third one, before I was so interrupted by my little munchkin, is Star Control Origins. Those are all pretty good games. Assassin's Creed is probably the best Assassin's Creed I've played in a while. Strange Brigade is short but fun, and Star Control Origins is made by Stardock. So if you're into the 4 times, or if you like No Man's Sky, actually, is what it reminds me of a lot. So let's look at some cards and what, that savings would give us. You got the 570 Sapphire Pulse, 8 gigabyte. And it's $434.99. That's not a good buy. Because you can get the MSI Boost, not the Armor one with that weak heatsink, the good one, for $329. Yes, the 580 is faster than the 570, but that's the dynamics of video cards, mining, which is still a thing, even though it's not in the news, and price volatility when it comes to GPUs. If you're going to buy one, I would advise getting the 580 for $329, because when you work out the fact that Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a $99 game, you're saving about $170 on the purchase of those games. So you're paying almost a little less than $200 for a brand new card, which is not bad in today's market. All right. So we know there's RGB everything these days. Hard drives, RAM, fans, strips. You think of it, and there's RGB for it. But what if you got some nice Noctua fans or some nice Fantex fans, or you are in the know about the nice cheap Arctic F14s and F12s, which are not RGB fans. However, they are relatively inexpensive. So how would you take a fan that you're buying for performance and be able to segue that into a fan that not just gives you performance, but also aesthetics? Well, here comes Fantex. They have these things called the Halos Lux. And these are basically frames that you screw into your fan that come with RGB. Surprisingly enough, there's no such thing as cheap in computers, but inexpensive in that you can get the 140 millimeter things for $14.99 right now from Newegg or Amazon. The 120s, most people have 120s. They're a little cheaper. I think they're $12.99. Installation is a breeze on these things. Just as a comparison, two of the Corsair ML140 RGB, not addressable, just RGB, are $89.99 on Amazon. So, I'm just trying to help you people out, and that sounds to me like a really good idea. If you got room in your case for a 200 millimeter, I would suggest using the Cooler Master Fan 200, which is also an RGB fan, but retails usually between $24 and $27.95 on Amazon or Newegg. And there you go. All right, so a lot of people hate on Vega. A lot of YouTubers, they like to hate on Vega, and it's overpriced, which I don't disagree with. But it is a very powerful card. Now, there are some issues. I agree with you. One is that they come from the factory with too high of voltage set. And usually undervolting them leads to better performance. The other thing is heat. Because the HBM and the GPU are on the same die. So the cooler has to disperse all of that heat. And I can tell you from experience that having a Sapphire Nitro Vega 64 with 3 fans, that I could fry an egg on the black plate of that card after gaming for about an hour. So, because it was the summertime and I don't need to pay more for air conditioning than I need to, I said, what can I find to help alleviate the situation? So, of course, the regular channels of Amazon and Newegg, but nobody had a water block for my particular card until, we went with the other Amazon, AliExpress. And we found Bayeski. I think that's how it's pronounced. Bayeski. RX Vega water block card for the Nitro. And it literally took me 5 minutes after taking apart the card to install that. Now, I will tell you, though, that it's AliExpress, so don't expect that you order it today and you're getting it tomorrow. It could take a couple weeks, but trust me when I tell you it's worth it. It's $86 US. That's right, $86. If you have an expandable loop like the Alpha Cool Ice Bear or the EKWB, I think they're the Predator series. Don't quote me on that. With expandable AIOs, you can easily add this water block. So I'll give you an example. We'll probably post some videos just to show you. Where gaming, I would see my GPU temperatures in the high 60s and the HBM in the low 80s. I now see that my GPU goes no higher than 50 degrees Celsius, and the HBM is no higher than 53 degrees Celsius. What does that mean? Well, you remember those late nights gaming before your girlfriend became your wife, and she didn't really care how loud the fan was when you were gaming at 2 in the morning? Well, guess what? I don't have to worry about that anymore because there's no fan on the GPU to spin up. Wonderful idea. So for all you guys out there that got the Vega Nitro 64s and you're unhappy with the cooling solution on it, trust me when I tell you that putting a water block on that card, you'll be so happy. So happy. How many of you know about Arctic cooling? I'm sure a lot of you are going to reference the MX4 and MX5 thermal paste for CPUs. But they have fans, and I'm not talking about fans that come with their CPU coolers. I'm talking fans that you can buy on their own, just like that. Now, the thing about Arctic cooling fans, and I'm going to talk about the PST, PWM, F14, and F12 series fans. On Amazon, they're an add-on item for $8. For $8. Yeah. You could buy Noctua fans for $18. You can buy, that's my daughter, by the way. You can buy Fantex fans for $17. And they're really good, actually. But these Arctic are by far and away the best deal for a case fan you can find. $8 on Amazon, or if you are lucky enough, because they usually don't last very long, a 5-pack of the 140s on Newegg when they're shipped from Canada for $34.99. That's 5 fans. Now, what's the beauty of these fans? Each of them comes with a male and female 4-pin connector. So you could daisy chain these fans together and put them onto one header on your motherboard. I use Arctic fans to exhaust air out of my case, and I use Arctic fans to bring cool air into the bottom of my case. Even at 1200 RPM, these fans are inaudible. Yes, inaudible. So if you are looking for a fan, you're not satisfied with your the fans that came with your case. A lot of times these big names like Corsair and Cooler Master, the performance on their fans, you kind of scratch your head with the noise that they produce. I'm telling you right now, people, get one as an add-on item for your Amazon order for $8. Try it out, and I guarantee you'll be buying more. Thank you. Okay, people, I hope we gave you some good advice with this video. Look forward to more videos from us, and make sure you tune in to this channel for Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals, because it'll come before you know it. And if you like this, if you love it, give us a like. If you love it, subscribe. If you don't like it, that's your business, but thanks for watching.